Hey everybody, welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I'm actually picking us up right where we left off. I said I was going to maybe come back in 1979 or something, but actually I'm gonna pick us up right here. So November 8th, 1978, and the reason why I'm not going to skip is because this is CERNACOVA's first winter. At least the first winter with people in it. And the first winter with people in it in a new city is always really kind of nerve-wracking because you don't really know if you got everything sorted out until you got it sorted out. And I've been like watching this a little bit here, and prison's nearly done, which is good. We're gonna have to start getting the logistics set in for that, so we're gonna do that soon too. But I'm not completely confident that this small heating plant can handle all of this. There's really no way to be able to tell because each one of these buildings, it has like the heating tank and everything. It tells you what the temperature inside and the tank and everything, but I'm not seeing it full. Okay, I'm not seeing it, you know, I want to see this needle all the way over and I'm not seeing that, okay? If you take a look at some of these other buildings, let's take a look at maybe this one here, and we scroll down. You can see that this needle is way over here. That's giving me more confidence, right? Come over here like this, scroll down, it's way over here, okay? So I'm seeing the temperatures, but I'm not seeing this. This is what I really want to see. These needles here need to be moving more close to that 90 area, okay? Now this area over here, we're probably going to have some heating problems here too. So I'm going to need to place a plan for more heating in this area as well. Because if I take a look over here, we're most likely going to see, yes, this. So this is at 104% on the heat exchanger. So when I saw this, I said to myself, okay, we're not going to skip anything. We're going to focus it down. We're going to do it on video. We're going to do it with you, okay? So we're going to solve a heating problem, hopefully, before it even starts. At least that's what I'm hoping we do. Let's start with CERNACOVA because I think that's a bigger deal. It's going to be a bigger problem because it's that small heating plant, right? So, because again, you can see the tanks and you can see that needle's not getting over there, even though it's 4C. And this is maxed out 100%. There's really, maybe it says it on the wiki or something. I haven't looked, okay? I don't spend time reading wikis. But 42 gigajoules of heat is the maximum production per day. I don't see anywhere in game anyway where it says like how many gigajoules of is it gigajoules? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. I don't see anywhere in the game where it says you need this much heat per citizen or per building or whatever. If it's there, I just haven't seen it. So it's really hard to translate that. So here's what we're gonna do just to anticipate this being a problem in the near future. I left space here and reserved this with a road just so I wouldn't lay it in. I left space here for adding a large heating plant right behind the small one so I could line it up with this walking path. So I'm going to place this in and we're going to start the construction on this. Should be able to fit right here and have that connection with the storage right up against this like that. We're going to start construction on a bigger heating plant just in case. If we don't need it, then we waste gravel, concrete, asphalt, etc., right? We waste resources that aren't that expensive, but we end up laying the groundworks in a good amount of time. And we have a good head start on laying in more expensive stuff. If we don't need it, we tear it down, we lose only that. If we do need it, then we have a jump start on saving people's lives. So this is what we're going to focus on first. We're going to have a high priority on these things. And then we're going to go in with a dirt road only, at least for now. And if I can get it off of this, that'd be cool. But I don't think so. Ooh, I can. Sign me up. That's what I want right there. So we're going to get the construction crews on that, as well as the CERNACOVA labor team on that. The next thing we're going to do is I'm not entirely convinced that this single exchanger will be enough for it either. It does say 67%. And it covers pretty much everything. So in theory, it should be good. But if it's not receiving enough, it may not be enough. And as we expand, it definitely won't be enough. So we're going to also get ahead of this problem by adding another heat exchanger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up right over here near the hospital. We're going to line it like right up against the hospital. I'm going to say like right like this. Like make it look like it's kind of part of the building almost. Right? I like it. I think that's going to look good. And then we'll just take a quick dirt road and we'll place it here. Maybe I'd, make it gravel or something later. I don't know, but we'll just put that right there, okay? Okay, so that's a heat exchanger from there. And then we're going to take the big pipe from this connection point, and we're going to bring it all the way over like this, and then just kind of round that into there like that. Okay, so again, we're trying to get ahead of the problem in hopes that we can that we don't have a problem. But if we do have a problem, we're going to get ahead of it by doing that. So edification is going to help us as well. So right now we're researching the increased birth rate. We're going to put a pause on that. We're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to reduce the government loyalty requirement to 0 so that anyone can work here. We're not going to be really teaching students anyway here. This is a research facility. It's pretty much all it is. So we don't need to worry about people being loyal. Next, we're going to increase the number of researchers so that everybody's on research, and we're also going to suspend increased birth rate and go for the edification of toughening. This is 1,200 workdays, and it is going to research how to apply toughening into the public minds so that they are more resistant to cold interiors. And that's going to help us throughout the entire Republic. So that's going to be what we focus on next. We're also going to increase the number of workers to the medical university so we get even more people working there if we can. All right, so just gonna kind of do something like that just to make sure we get more people in. So everybody should be coming in here at medical university, and we should be getting a lot of researchers, and this should just be cruising. Okay, so hopefully we get that done before it gets too late too. Okay, on this side, we want to help this. I want to help the heat exchanger that's over here, because remember it's at 104%. We can see what this covers. Covers a lot of stuff. Like, there's so many things that this is covering. It's a really well positioned heat exchanger, I think, but it does have a lot of connections. So obviously we want to help this out, and it's being set to higher priority. So it's obviously, even though other heat exchangers are in range, they're going to be using this one. So we want to help it out, right, is what I'm saying. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a heat exchanger right here next to the because we have another one right here, by the way. You can see this one here. This is helping out as well. Okay, we're going to put another one right here just to kind of, again, alleviate some of that stress, alleviate some of the pressure. Although, if I put it back here, I'm wondering if that's going to be enough to even do it. I might want to put it in the middle instead, but I can't because there's no road connection possibilities there. No, we're going to stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. And the plan is to put it right up next to this building. So we're going to flippy flop it. And I'm thinking if we put this right up next to this building, about like that, should be able to get a little dirt path there like that. Good. And we'll go ahead and get construction crews working on that too. To get things into here, to get the heat here, though, it's going to be too far. We're not going to be able, I don't think, to get heat all the way from this heating plant into that. I'm going to try, but I don't think it's going to work because it's going to end up telling me that it's too long. Pretty confident. So if I lower this, man, you are just, what are you going? Oh, it's that water facility right there. Okay. Yeah. So you need to go like this, and then, or maybe that's the sewage facility. I think it's sewage. All right. So all the way down like this, and then it's probably going to say it's too long. Yes. Use heat pumping station. Lame. Super lame. But we're going to have to do it anyway. So we're going to say that this heat goes like that, and then we're going to drop a pumping station right over like this. We're going to say pumping station. Okay, I can go in like this. Although if I flipped it, if I flip it, let's put it like this. That should be fine. Yeah. It there, and then dirt road like so. Yeah, that's fine. And then the heating pipe should be able to go from there into here, and then out this side, and like so. All right, so there you go. Little zigzag kind of thing, but it's pretty good. All right, so construction crews are also told to do this, but they are going to focus CERNACOVA as the big priority. All right, this is on the docket, it's on the schedule, but it is not your biggest priority. CERNACOVA is, because the new city, we want to keep it up and running. We want to make it look good. We want everything to start working here. Okay, so that's what we need. I don't think there's much else to do. These two roads should need finished. We're going to make sure that CERNACOVA's labor is being used on those. And then, yeah, now it's just kind of a waiting game to make sure that it starts to work. We're going to make these high priority as well. And they should already start. We should see them like getting in here pretty soon here. I almost feel like maybe we could get some of these guys coming off the bus. They could be helping out with this as well. If we take and put this dirt road like right here, I bet people coming off this bus, they'll be able to walk over here too. See how there's like 4 out of 7, right? It's not fully done here. I want to see this. I want to see this working better. I'm also noticing people walking this way from that bus stop, and I'm not sure what they're doing. Looks like they've decided to work in the school from the bus stop. That's not what we want. So you're going to be specific to this building, and this building. And I'm going to have you work over here. So now you're just going to spread yourself out with an emphasis on really none of these things. I suppose we probably should take an emphasis off of the heating plant, but yeah, you're going to be working in all these places only, not coming over to the school. And that means we should get workers on site here pretty consistently to help us with laying in the concrete and everything, just in case that's a problem. Now, once this is done, the hope is that this heat exchanger will be done, which will hopefully be in range of all of these things. That would be great. There you go. Trains are going to get confused. You're going to see these question marks all the time. Trains are going to get confused, and this is just because they're building tracks off of one-way tracks. So there's only, they can't get back because it's a one-way, right? They can't go the opposite direction. I wish that there would be a way, maybe there's a mod that does it, I don't know, but I wish there was a way to permit rail construction trains to always be allowed to go the wrong way on a track, because they teleport anyway, right? So I wish they would always be permitted to go the wrong way. And maybe there's a mod that can do that or something, but I don't know. It's kind of a silly request. Maybe it's a little niche, but I kind of wish it was. Okay, I also want to talk about this. While they're building all these things and doing all these things, I probably should keep this open just so I can check on it. It's 88% done, so this is good. Right before November, we're going to be more resilient to the cold, all right? This is a very good thing. And after that, we'll go into the increased birth rates again. There's not much else to do with Medical University. We're going to get vitamins as well, more resistant to pollution, which is going to be essential as well. I'm actually going to go ahead and click the increased birth rates. Not showing me what this is on the hover. Why not? There it goes. Right there. So we're going to do the increased birth rates next, so that we'll have more babies, of course. But now that people are a little bit more resilient to cold, I'm hoping that this means... See these tanks? They are not looking good. I need this needle to be way over here. And this is already dropping. Look, it's negative 8C, November 18th, negative 8, which is pretty dang cold. And you can see the temperature isn't much higher than that. We're looking at what, maybe 14C? All right, so this is definitely a good sign. Well, it's a bad sign. It's a bad sign for CERNACOVA, but it's a good sign that we needed this and we're not doing this in vain. So I think it definitely needs a large heating plant. With the increased birth rate and the vitamins, I'm hoping that we'll see that this heating plant being so close to town doesn't impact them all that badly when it comes to looking at the pollution and stuff. So we'll see. I really should make these two-way tracks, shouldn't I? Because I'm going to have to keep correcting this over and over again if I don't. Yeah, why don't we take a look at the signals here. So this is 2A. It's only when it gets up to about here. The only way to fix this would be to put in little wooden crossings. I think it's probably the only way to fix this. So we'll go and do something like this. And then, yeah, we'll just have this be looking for the priority button right over here. Just let them do that and make sure that they build that crossing. We can always tear these down, but if I don't want to have to deal with these wrong way warnings all the time, this is how you have to avoid it. And I'm going to use the wooden track because that's what little, the little boards and stuff, that's kind of what it's for, is just having this little stuff like that. Let's go ahead and have you build a little crossing right here too. All right, and then we'll just have the rail construction office. There you are. Have the rail construction office come on over, and you're going to have these projects here. Really? We can't get that? Why not? What? Why not? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, once you do this part, then you can totally get in here. I don't know why you're telling me you don't have a path to this when you've built nearly the entire rail already. Like, you clearly built it before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Tell you what, we could try this. I bet it's this. Now I bet you'll do it. Want to bet? Yeah, now you'll do it. All right, so we'll have all this done. We want this to be a high priority, and then they can continue to build the rail on their own time after that. And then probably want another one over here because the trains do get confused over here too. So why don't we go ahead and do another wooden one kind of like maybe right here. We'll just cross over like that. And then rail construction office. I really do wish I could assign these guys to one of my buttons up here. I don't know a way to do that. I haven't figured out how to like specifically assign them. Is that it right there? Can I just click the assign new construction button to that? Like if I... Yeah, it's like it's not letting me click this. Yeah, it doesn't let me click that button. So I don't think that's it. Yeah, so it looks like I have to have this office selected before I can click this button. And then I can click the button. But if this office isn't selected, then I can't click the button. Well, that's a useless tool. That's really useless, isn't it? I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I've never really bothered with this top bar before. I think it's because I'm in the habit of always using my mouse to click UI functions just from recording videos. I don't really use hotkeys all that often. Some of you guys may know that to your own annoyance or whatever, possibly. But I don't really use hotkeys very often because I want to show what I'm doing on screen. I want to demonstrate where stuff is and show that I'm clicking a tool and moving it to a certain place. And I've gotten so used to doing that I just do it natively now. Even when I'm playing by myself, I do that now. It's like a habit. Call it old man stuck in his ways or something, I guess. I don't know, but it's definitely... I don't know what's going on with this. Why aren't these being done, right? But it's just work days, right? Oh, the electrical components. Well, I mean, somebody get over here and do this. Like, finish these roads, please. All right. Yeah, I might just let it run here, but I did want to do another amendment really quick with the rail system, and that is to get this rail out to over here. So in addition to having the rail come down this way to, meet up into this wonderful grain storage that we're going to use, in addition to that, we also need resources delivered to this area. And so there's 2 resources we really need to be here. Well, I guess 3 if you count liquid fertilizer, but we're not really doing liquid fertilizer yet. But there's 2 resources we really need out here, like a lot. Fertilizer and fuel. Okay, there'll be a lot of fuel. There's a lot of gas stations and stuff out here, and we're going to need, of course, a lot of fertilizer for the fields. So what we're going to do is right over on this road, I think, is probably a good spot for it. Somewhat centrally located. Yeah, I like it right here. What we're going to do, a couple of things. We're going to put in a dump with a claw railway, and we're going to stick that to be, I think, right about here should be okay. Is it though? I think I want to put a little bit more distance just in case I want to keep going. So I'm going to go maybe here. Just in case I want the rail to continue on. That's going to be there. Okay. Now, right across from that, we're going to place a medium field. Right. And it's going to be kind of right up against the road. And then it needs to actually be back a little bit just in case I want to continue that. Right. So I'm going to say it comes back about, let's say like this. Right about here should be good. We're going to redo this road real quick to where the road goes like that instead. That gets out of the way of this rail if I want it to go this way. So I'm going that way with the rail, then I want to have you be right up against it. So right about there should be fine. All right. That's what we're going to do in the event that we want to make this rail. I'm going to just go ahead and suspend construction on that. Okay. The next thing in this area we need is a distribution office and a gas station, pretty much. So we're going to go to the cargo. We're going to go to a small distribution office, I think is good. We're going to place it right here in front of this. There we go. That's fine. And then we'll go ahead and get this road to be over like that. And then we want a gas station to be over here too. And just a simple gas station right here would be fine. All right. The goal here, and we'll need power as well. So let's grab a transformer and we'll put it right about here. And then I think just to kind of like temporary this, because there's like a farm and there's rails and all that stuff, just to make this something temporary, we'll go ahead and put in a wind turbine over here behind this, like this. Like so. All right. Behind that gas station. And then it just kind of comes in like that. All right, so that's our setup for this. All right, now I already told you about the wind turbines and stuff over here, but that's our setup over on this side. The last thing I need over here then is a place to store fuel. And that's going to be where this storage is. Now, there's several different types of storage, but this is the biggest one, and it's the most convenient to use, I think, because it has a space for vehicles to load and unload. You could also use this one. It's small, and it has no space for loading and unloading, so you have to send it to an unloading station. And then there's also this one, which is bigger, but also has no place to park. So you have to send it to loading and unloading station. This just flat out has more storage and they can load directly from it. I like that. We're going to place this right up against it like this on its own road. I think maybe right here. All right. Last part of this process is the fuel loading and unloader with the train. So we're going to want that to be from this menu over like so. And we're going to have this be located right about like that. Okay. Hopefully that connects. It does. Okay. We're going to say that you can come down like this. And then you are going to come over like that. So we'll have you come out probably, I think we'll curve like this. Have you go straight this way and then have you curve like that. Is that better? Or should I go tighter to the road? I'm not going to put any fields here, so yeah, I mean, probably tighter to the road would be better if I'm not putting any fields. I think so. So instead we'll go, I'm trying to do this before it snowed, but kind of ran out of time there, didn't I? We'll go right about like this. Keep that straight about like that. Then you can just go, I guess, over like this. Okay. So this is going to round and go up against the road over here too. So we're going to say that the road is, let's say here. Go perpendicular on the road about like, or near the road about like that. Probably pretty good. All right. And then what we want to do is we're going to round you like so. Okay. And then you're going to go over like this. And then you're going to merge right about, let's say, let's merge you a little bit further up. We'll say maybe like right here. All right, that should be good, I think. And then from this point, we're going to have a crossing. We're going to say a crossing probably right in the center of this. So let's get rid of this. We'll have a crossing, let's say here and here. That should be good to go, I think. Okay. So this is a single rail. This single rail track is going to head this direction, cross this. It's going to then head this direction over near these power lines. Run right up next to these power lines would be fine. All right. Right about like that. All right. Then it's going to head next to the road still all the way over to about here. Then we're going to duck it under the ground as a tunnel. All right. It'll all make sense in a second. If it doesn't yet, it'll all make sense in a second, I promise. We're going to go underneath this road. All right. And it's going to be, come on, underneath the road. There we go. Under the road. And then it's going to get picked back up right about here. Like so. Okay. Probably don't need to go that far. I think it's a little too long. Let's actually bring it back. I don't need to go quite this far with that. I think I can probably bring it up right here. Yeah, let's do it like this instead. Bring it up right there. Shortens the tunnel a little bit. Let's go ahead and lock that in. The next thing, we're going to want this track. And actually, I think in order to do this, I'm going to have to... I'm sorry about the noise if you hear it. My son has decided he wants to play. Actually, it might be my daughter doing it. She's got some new toys, and she just likes to bang them on the floor. It's like those kids do, you know? Kids, they just... If it makes noise, it's fun. That's it. Like, that's the prerequisite for fun. Does it make noise? Yes? Okay, fun. Fun. Easy. Very easy. So right here, rail comes up and over and goes that way, okay? This side is then going to come over like this and just kind of... I think I'm going to bring it all the way over here and then go like that with it. So right like that with it. Okay. That's our rail connection. As long as I can get rid of some of these extra points, because we don't need quite so many of these. This looks pretty bad. I think I can clean that up. I don't know why it did that, but I can totally clean that up. There we go. Does that look better? I think it does. I think we're almost good here. Yep, right there. We can get rid of that one. And I think we're pretty rock solid up until a certain point, up until here. Now, we haven't gotten this rail to wrap that way yet. So that still needs to happen. But you can see we have a bypass around the fertilizer to go this way. Ducks into the tunnel, heads this direction, goes all the way over here, and then chooses which side it wants to go to. Is it going to fuel or is it going to fertilizer? There also should be a place where two trains can cross each other if it happens. Now, I'm obviously not I'm trying a different way of doing it here, right? Instead of having two tracks running parallel next to each other the entire way, instead of doing that, I am having one rail, and then trains will have to wait for the rails to get out of the way. So in this case, if a train is dropping off fertilizer and it's heading back the other way, this is a two-way track, it will be able to get onto a one-way track, which is this one. This one will be, these are both one-way tracks, so you're only going to go this way on this side and only this way on this side. This allows me to allow a train to come from this side to get onto this track and then wait on this track for a train to get out of whatever zone it's going to go in. And then this side, likewise, could then go through here, bypass all of this one, and then also wait here in case a train is on its way in here. But there is a chance that maybe this gets higher traffic than I expect. I don't think it will, but in the event that it does, we will then have a track from the tunnel here. We'll have another track that comes out next to this, and it'll go maybe like right there. And that way we'll have at least only a small, narrow section where there's two trains. Then from this side, there'll be another track that's coming from this direction. And that one is wrapping through from here. Most likely I'll make a tunnel here because I just don't really want to go all the way around. But there is some merit to going around because I do need a track that heads this way anyway, so that it can meet up with the border connection so we can sell things like the uranium oxide and stuff that we end up processing. So I want to be able to sell the uranium and everything. And doing that by train is going to be more efficient. And so there will be a track that comes this way anyway. So I may just tap into that. But anyway, that's going to allow our fuel supply, which gets picked up from here, to also come down here and get dropped off onto the fuel loader here, unloader here. Okay. And then we have possibly, but I highly doubt it, a way for these trains to continue on its way. In the event that a train is using fuel and it's getting here and it has any left, it will then just continue to go back the other way and then maybe drop it off somewhere else that needs fuel. I don't know. But we're going to say that this is a straight up connection into there. Call it good. Okay. So that's what we've got for now. I believe this will provide power to all of this. Real quick check on its range. Actually, it may not hit that. I may need to move that a little bit further forward. This looks like it needs to be here instead. Yeah, right there instead. I'm going to put you about like this. Maybe at an angle. I want to get in the way of that. Yeah, right here. There we go. That should cover it. All right, good. Yeah, so construction crews and stuff, we'll get on that when we need them to, but they're not needed yet, at least to do that right now. It's not super required yet. All right, so we have increased birth rates now. We do indeed. Let's go ahead and grab vitamins. Help them there as well. Where's the electricity problem? That's no good. Is it because you're... Okay, so this building is exclusively receiving its power from this wind power. So anytime there's a notice about power and it's this building, I don't care because it's just that building. Everybody else around is going to have power. Let's clear those notices so I can see what's recent. Everybody else is going to have power except this building. It's just in this... It's in this weird location where none of the substations hit this. It hits everything else, but just not that one, right? Like this one has power because it's in the... It's getting it from a substation as well, right? But this one is just in this odd zone where it just doesn't have a substation. So this one is helping to cover the slack on that by being here and also helping to cover the slack in other places, but it provides kind of power here intermittently, I guess. All right, checking the heat. Looks pretty good. It's not completely full, but it's a safe range, and I like that. Let's take a look at the hospital really quick. Make sure the hospital's good. Yep, hospital's pretty far away from the heating plant, so we have to make sure that's good. If we come over to the... So this place has no drinking water or anything else for that matter. Food, clothes, meat, etc. So this building here, you're going to be connected to that. And you're just going to make sure that you provide for everything that they need. We're also going to need water to be brought there now too. Because apparently this doesn't reach it. Excuse me. Where is that? All right. How are you going to say that you reach this 285 meters away? But you don't reach that. What? That's bull. What's going on here? You reach this 275, 285. All right. From this point to here, it's 250. Even if it was like the back corner, we're still talking 300 meters. You're not making any sense, game. That sucks. So I need to move this then. This thing needs to be shifted over to someplace else. Somehow you don't reach. Like look at the difference here, right? Right? So right here, it's right here, and then if I put it right there, it would reach. Come on now. That's bull. That sucks. That sucks a lot. All right. We're going to take and do this. We're going to put this... I guess we'll put it over here. There's a tiny little distance change here, but we're going to do that. And then I'll just tear this down and put this pipe and just take this pipe carried over here. In the short term, though, we're going to need a way to get there because we don't have it. So this technical service office... That's what this is for, all right? So you're going to get your water from here. Sorry. From here. There you go. Your sewage is going to happen over here. There you go. Construction waste is going to be dropped off here. So I guess you're going to have to go all the way over here. I don't think you're going to be doing a whole lot of waste here, but you might. So we'll put you there. Metal scrap, you're going to bring that over to here. Aluminum scrap is going to go to... this one, but for now it's going to go to the border. Biological waste, screw it, put it to the border. I don't care. Plastic waste is going to go to here, and then hazardous waste goes there, and then mixed waste goes there. Okay. So I may have some... mostly I want snowplows and stuff here, but I might have a couple garbage trucks. We'll see if we need them. We are going to have a water truck. Let's do these ones. I don't think we need to go quite as big as that. Let's say we go, yeah, blue. Do a water truck like this, at least one. We'll do a sewage cistern. Now for the sewage trucks, you want to have them be the highest capacity because they're going to go to the tanks and stuff, and they're usually 12 cubic meter tanks. So we'll say about like that should be okay. So we'll do that one, and I guess from there we'll grab, I guess, 4 snow plows. And we'll take the big CAS trucks because they plow at really fast speeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're buying new stuff. Right, there you go. Let's take a look at it and see where we got here. So building, temperature in building is too low. All right, now we got 17 doctors. We can treat 23 patients with that. Right? As the temperature gets too low, we are going to see that the buildings are going to operate at lower efficiencies. Right? Now this one's not complaining about it being too low, despite the fact that it's 15C in there. So it's getting some heat, but not as much as it needs to. CERNACOVA hospital's getting pumped up. That's good. I don't think this is good enough, though. Like, now we have an epidemic, so that's definitely something we need to deal with. Vitamins are going to make people more resilient. I could go into virology. I think it's too late now. I think vitamins, we just continue with that. We're going to need to be more resistant to pollution anyway, since we are putting a heating plant closer to the town now. So it's going to have to be there. Like, we're going to put this heating plant, I think it's like less than 300 meters away from the house, isn't it? Here's the building right there. Yeah, 300 meters. So it's pretty close to this place. We're going to get some pollution problems here, I think, for sure. We're going to have to take a look at that. Okay. So orphanage isn't done yet, which is really kind of annoying, actually. That should be done because we're already overloaded there. We need to get rid of some of these kids. All right, so essentially what we need here is we need the kids to go here. Split them up to where we have a high number of teachers in both, and that those teachers basically have less students. So we need them to tutor. Yeah, there's workers there. It's just taking forever. Just make sure that the office knows about doing that. It's just taking a very long time. Somebody said, you know, now that you have a lot of population, you could have more buses to bring workers to more sites. And you're probably right on that. However, every worker that goes to a construction site is not going to a place where they're producing goods for me. And like, I like having goods produced for me, right? I really like having goods produced for me. Like right there. And yeah, clothing, please. Go sell clothing. Not enough tutors in the orphanage. I know. The problem is not the tutors. The problem is just too many students. And so when this orphanage is done, we're going to immediately transition that. So with that out of the way, let's put this over here. I need the distribution office. Yep, right here. And I need you to now add this building as soon as it is done. 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, done. Add that building and go do things, okay? All right, so with that done, we're going to have teachers. Let's bring them in, make them at like 55%. Lots of teachers coming in there, all right? As we get more resources delivered here, we're going to start getting children brought in here. And then what we want to do is make sure that they're storing a lot more food than they are clothing. So about 10. I like this, 80-20, pretty good. What are we doing over here? This is 50-50, that ain't good. Let's do like an 80-20, and we'll do 70-30 over there. Yeah, let's try the 70-30 approach instead. And it doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, we're not making that big of deliveries anyway. This just means we won't bring clothing here for a while. So, all right, we got one kid in here, but we're still missing supplies, and that's okay because they're gonna take care of it, right? The distribution office will grab the stuff that they need, bring it down here, and they'll take care of it. Once they have that, I will then initiate a transfer. We have a lot of kids here. We can move them from this building to this building and more evenly distribute them amongst what we have here. So, and I think I want to bump this up to 60%. I don't think I can easily do that. Yeah, 57, whatever. It's fine. 57, 55, it doesn't matter. Probably overthinking that, you know? So I think as soon as they get 2 things delivered, I don't know about the meat being there in time, but we should see them spring to life. And I might need to start getting this one done. So the second distribution center is done. You can see that there's no vehicles in here. They're all out doing things. And so clearly that means we are a little short on vehicles. We're using a lot of covered hulls. Pretty much everything's covered hulls. So over here, what we'll do is we'll add, let's say, another... Let's go capacity. Let's say we add... kind of want them to look different than the other ones. You know, these ones honestly, they're kind of all over the place, aren't they, in design? RMN 135 covered. This is a pretty good balance. I like these. RMN 135. Let's go ahead and buy some of those. Go covered hull and total capacity. This is, you know what? Let's try these ones instead. They're pretty fast. They do the job well. I like it. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these covereds. Let's go 7 covereds. And then we'll switch over to refrigeration, and we'll I always do the biggest trucks with refrigeration, but that's on dedicated routes. Instead of doing distribution office with refrigeration, what you probably want to do, another good valid way of doing this, is to have a really big truck just making rounds. They'll stop here, they'll deliver as much to one place as possible, then they'll go to the next one, then they'll go to the next one, then they'll go to the next one, come back, and they'll just do that over and over again without any sort of like wait until unloaded commands. I think that's generally the better approach to doing things like meat, because you tend to have big storages and you can just drop them off. But for this particular city, I'm operating it with this until it gets to the point where it proves to me it's not working, and then I'll switch it. But for now, I think maybe we just take I kind of want a bigger one than this. Let's try these. This is fine. We'll go 1, 2 refrigeration trucks in here too. All right. And then we need some connections here as well. So we're going to have you help out, right? So we're going to have you help out by bringing stuff over to, let's say, the 2 orphanages. The prison over here needs some stuff, probably, maybe, I don't know. We're going to have you deliver stuff to this prison. We're going to have you deliver stuff to the store, and to the store. That's probably fine for now. As far as this little distribution office goes, it's just to help out with existing things. Maybe we also need to make other connections too. So you get your stuff from here, and that's kind of it, right? Yeah, you just get all your stuff from here. And so we'll say that you load from this point and unload at all those other points. Yeah, I'm all right with this. This is fine. They'll do what they got to do to just help out the other office for now. Extra vehicles. We can always now have different connections or better connections and stuff too, which is pretty good. All right, how's our population doing? So we're getting deaths. We got some escapes. We definitely last month had quite a few deaths, quite a few escapes too. A lot of escapes. The smart people tend to escape before they die. All your highly educated people, they tend to leave you. They will die of tourists too. Like most people will die before they leave, especially if they're loyal. But people are escaping. Chances are it's because they're just smarter than the rest of the population. That's my narrative, okay? I don't know if that, like game mechanics wise, it probably doesn't matter. Probably just a matter of loyalty. You know, like you get people who break out of prison, they have no loyalty, so they escape, right? Whatever. But my narrative is, the smart ones are leaving. All right, so we should see things like meat and stuff being delivered to the prison pretty soon here. We're going to raise the government loyalty requirements in the prison to 52%. And we're going to also make sure that we get more people working at that bus stop too. I need more people to work there. Let's double check our status on vitamins. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a heating problem. Oh, yeah. I already knew it, man. Negative 12C. Building's too low. We're getting down, really, really down for doctors. Technically, there's nobody waiting for care. So that's still good. You know, I think that research we did is helping us a ton there. That's good. Again, this is a research hospital, so everybody should be on research, not on teaching. When this is all said and done, then fine, teach people. But as long as there's things in the medical area to research, I want that happening instead. So this, I'm just regretting this, you know? Like, I don't like this. I wish I had done this differently so that I could get a road connection through here. Because a road connection is just needed through here. I might just go ahead and build the stupid bridge anyway. If I do that, though, what I'll most likely do is tear this out. And then I'll put this as far over here as possible. And then instead what I'll do is I'll add an incinerator right here. And then we'll just have an incinerator right here. The idea was I was hopefully going to take the burnable waste and move it over to that incinerator that's already built, because that's giving us power. But I don't know if that's worth it, especially if it loads slowly. We'll have to see. The other hope is that there isn't much to burn, because all the other stuff has been processed out of it already. Then the only thing that's left is, you know, the really light amount of waste that's there, which is the, well, based on this, I'm saying burnable waste is 50%. So actually that doesn't work. So I may need an incinerator here instead. And this is also going to be very hard to destroy because helicopters can help you build it, but they can't help you tear it down. And with it being this far gone, like in the construction process, I'm not going to be able to deconstruct it without a road connection. So I may be forced to bring a road in here. I don't want to, but I think I'm forced to bring a road in here. It's going to suck. So I think I might just get ahead of this problem and put an incinerator in here anyway. I think it's going to be needed, as silly as it may seem. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Come on now. Wow. I may have a hard time doing all like this. Just may not work at all. This whole area is just screwed right here, because I'm not gonna be able to turn that sharp enough. I don't think so anyway. I can go that way. Oh my god, that's even longer. No thank you. Well, now hang on. What about going right? I regret this whole area. I gotta think about this more. This whole area here sucks, because what it's gonna end up happening here is we're gonna sort this into like biological and burnable waste and all that. It's gonna get sorted. It's gonna plop right here. Trains are gonna have to pick it up. It's gonna be slow, and then it'll take it over there. But I don't think the capacity. I think this is gonna be a bottleneck, is what I'm saying. I think we're gonna have a big bottleneck right here, and it's gonna be something that I just want to burn. And yeah, I regret all of it. I can tear this down and this down, because demolition crews can get to these 2 points, but they can't get in here without a road. I'm gonna have to delete this so that I can make the road, right? And then we're not gonna be able to bring waste in here via this station. We don't need to. Wait a minute, we don't need to. Yeah, I did this already. Oh my god, my light bulb. We don't need this anymore. This is pointless now. Yeah, goodbye. Absolutely, goodbye. We don't need this anymore. Destroy that. And then we'll just make the road come from, oh, that's, never mind. We're good. Wow. See, you're just gonna figure it out on video, and everyone can just be like, oh, look at that. He finally figured it out. Good for him. All right, trains are waiting too long. These are all just the track builders and stuff. That's gonna happen. There's very little I can do to get around it. Did we do the crossing yet here or no? No? But these are all two-way anyway? At least until you get up to here. So then we don't have the crossing. So I still think I need a crossing right here, just so they can keep building the tracks. There's a lot of track to build here, so I'm thinking I want to do that for them. I'm going to do something like this right here. We're just going to go like this. I want them to be able to get in and out of here without much of a problem. So go ahead and do right like this. There you go. And then if you built them already over here, now I can do this later, of course, but if you've already done the crossing, and you have, then what I can do now is go into my signaling, and I can leave these now to be the correct direction. Like that, right? So we can now have all of these tracks be the correct direction. Be properly signaled, if you will, right? Yep, there we go. And then all we have to do on this side is to clear, chain, and then on this side we go two-way. That's it. Done. Piece of cake. And then over, do we do the crossing on this one yet? I don't remember if I did that. Oh, there's a crossing right here anyway, so that's going to work just fine. Yeah. There should be one more area. It's over here, right? I did a crossing over over here. Yeah, right here. It looks like they've built this, which is good. They haven't built the whole track yet. Let's just real quick go in. If anybody knows how to add the rail construction office to a shortcut, let me know. I might just be missing something obvious, but I have not found a way to add rail construction offices to a shortcut, and I want to really badly. Again, I have tried this. We tried this earlier, and this button only works when this office is selected. If I don't have that office selected or up on the screen, I can't click this button. It doesn't work that way. I just have not found a way to do that, and I would really like a way to do that. So look, I can add these two, but not this one. Very strange. All right, so we'll add all these to the project. Yep. And yep, that too. And then what we can do is with our signaling, we can come over and we can make sure that these signals are the proper direction. Yes. And then we can say that you are chained to here. That's not great. It's way close to the intersection, but these are track builders doing this, and that's it. So we know that track builders are the only thing that's going to be in here, so it won't matter. And then on this side, we're going to go bop, bop. That'll help them build that track a bit more. All right. I mean, I think I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. For some reason, we're not getting meat brought here. I'm certain you have a refrigeration truck. You do. So why aren't you bringing the meat here? You're supposed to be, unless you're not picking it up from anywhere. That can't be true because you have meat here. You must be picking it up from somewhere. All right, where's the load meat? Load meat is... Huh? Road cargo. You're not loading meat? Wait, how did I get meat into that spot then? There must be someone else doing that. Load meat from West Road Cargo, right there. So, wait, how did you get meat then? You're getting it from... Oh, it's a different distribution office. Oh, this one. Yeah, of course. This one is bringing it... Oh, okay, that makes sense. This one is bringing it direct. Okay. No problem. Well, we're going to have that other one pick it up too, so it's fine. And then we'll have it brought over here, and then that'll be fine. 22 prisoners escaped this year. How did that happen? Our security is 97%. I might need to lower the government loyalty on this a little bit. Raise the propaganda. There we go. Just really make a whole lot of propaganda in here. This should work. I don't need this much. I don't need that much propaganda. This should work a lot better once we get more warders. We just don't have enough warders in here right now, so get more warders and that'll fall in line. And then if I could get... did we just lose all of our citizens or what? Oh, this is a brand new house. We actually don't have anybody in here anyway, so why don't we take some of this money we have and just invite a few more people in here? And then what we can do is we have a few people in here. They're not very loyal though, so like we don't want these guys necessarily to work over there. We're going to look for people who have a high loyalty, and we actually don't have secret police in the area, so that might be something else to do now is to get secret police over here. A small one will probably be okay. Yeah, a small secret police. I don't think you need a big one over here. Let's put another one. We'll put it... you could probably put it over on this side. That way it's in range of the existing trash as well. We'll put it like maybe right here. That seems fine. And then maybe we'll make this like a gravel road or something. And then they'll get into all their apartments and stuff too. Okay. So yeah, construction on the pipes are good. Construction on the new heating plant, because you can see it's not sufficient. So we're gonna tackle that. And I think this will probably finish up in the next video. We didn't lose a whole lot of people yet. And I think it has to do with that research we did. This one at the very beginning. I don't know how strong this is, but it seems like it's helping me a lot. Vitamins is good here. Increased birth rate is good. So for health reasons now, I think we just go into helping ourselves with pandemic stuff so that we don't lose a lot of stuff that way. Preventative medicine is pretty good, but I think virology is what we're really looking for so that we could help develop vaccines. And yeah. And again, this is a research facility. So I'm just going to hit this button as many times as I can, and everybody who works here is on research. Okay, I think that pretty much takes care of... yeah, it pretty much takes care of everything I wanted to cover. I do need to look at trains and figure out why they can't cross over. It's because they haven't built that yet, so they need to get on that first. You guys should have this being done beforehand. Thank you very much. And then our tunnel boring machines and stuff are working on the tunnels and stuff too. So when we come back for the next one, definitely be 1979. Picked it up right where we left off. But we have all this stuff kind of laid in as a plan and how to get the rails and stuff out that way, how to get fertilizer brought out that way. I do want to have this project right here accelerated so that I can at least start getting trucks to haul that fertilizer over here so we can process more of the biological waste. Because at the moment, we're just bringing biological waste. Everybody is doing this. Everybody's bringing biological waste over to this facility directly. And you just see trucks are constantly coming in here on the dirt roads, dropping off the biological waste so that we can just burn it right away. And then, you know, it's not really generating that much ash. So we're definitely processing enough of this stuff. And I think maybe we bring this down to like, say, 15. We don't need quite that many workers in there. And this side here is actually fine at 10 too. So yeah, I will keep cracking on this. And then as soon as this is up and operational and we get all the stuff in for it and connected to this one, it doesn't matter. We don't want to tear this down until the end of winter. So no matter what happens, this facility will remain operational until probably April. If we can get this up, and this built, then that's great. But otherwise, this facility has to stay. And then we'll start tearing it down. It's a slow process to demolish a building. But maybe we would use some explosives. I don't know. I mean, could be a good candidate for explosives if I want to get it out of the way quickly, right? But I think it takes longer to clear the debris at that point because you have a ton of mixed waste. And then you have to go process it and sort it. So I think maybe we hold off on explosive usage for demolition until we have this area here kind of figured out. Speaking of figuring it out, definitely want these storages done so I can start dropping off the various different types of waste that there are. And yeah, as soon as this is done, which it is now. Yes, so this solves the problem. This solves the problem entirely. We can have a dirt road come out this way and just ta-da! That solves the issue. And we can always redo this if it becomes a bottleneck, which it may be a bottleneck, but there is room here for an incinerator if I want to. We could put in it's just a small incinerator, I think would be fine. There is room for that in here. So it pops in right there. Or maybe we flip it over and it can go well, the ins and it's about the in and the out, isn't it? Like it has to, you have to be able to burn it and then get rid of it. So there might be a creative way to position this where it fits in here. I'll have to take a look at it. Or I could always redo these roads and maybe put it over here or something, but it's not a good assortment. This area right here is screwed up. I'll admit this right here, not as well thought out as I wanted it to be, but at least I'm noticing it before it's built. Yeah. Ambulances are not arriving. Not sure why you need that to happen. It's right here. But, oh my gosh. Yeah, look at this. The temperature is too low. Look at all the people waiting for treatment. Now the population's dropping. Yep. It's January, folks. Oh boy. That is happening. I don't think we got around it. I mean, it's still dropping, right? We're still getting deaths. Yep, look at the deaths pile up. So this is happening anyway. We might have prevented some of it, but like this is brutal. This is really brutal. I don't want you working anywhere else other than this hospital. Everybody work at the hospital, please. Just let's get in there. Everybody get into that hospital right now. Come on. Get in there. Come on. Come on, I just put 300 workers dedicated to the doctor's office, so there's no reason why you can't have 30 people in here. Let's go. Come on. I mean, it's not enough. It's helpful, but you see the ratio is like 1 to 1, and the temperature is this low. there's not really a whole lot you can do for people, right? This is definitely not sufficient. That's really disappointing because you would think that, well, I mean, given that it's only 5 out of 7 people, I guess I can kind of understand it, but get into that heating plant. Heating plant. And, you know, heating plant and the bus station. I don't care. Just get in there. Make sure you guys are full. Now, this orphanage is done, and we have a lot of kids in there now too. Okay, so we want to have a lot of teachers in here. We're gonna maybe bring it down to, let's say, 45%. Bring this down a little bit too. We really want to fill this up if we can. And you can see they're pretty spread out now, so we just need more teachers in here. But if we can get more teachers in there, then they're not overcrowded anymore. But I mean, with people dying because of the winter, it doesn't surprise me that we're getting orphans. Oh, we still are getting people dying. Not a good winter. Not a good winter. It's just undercalculated how much this thing could handle. Or sorry, I overestimated what the capacity of a small heating plant was. And there just wasn't a whole lot I could do about that, to be honest. But I've done everything I can to mitigate that as fast as possible. But without this being operational, that's just not going to happen. We just need work days on this. This is starting to happen, I think. Slowly. Gosh, it's very slowly. Yeah. We also need... where is it? We need there, and I think the university doesn't have any garbage collection. I mean, they're going to collect it straight up, but I don't think they have any, you know, like any garbage stands. Yeah, they don't have any dedicated garbage stands. So probably should add one for them just for later. Make it more efficient for the garbage trucks. Put one next to the theater. I think that's a decent way to cover this. Right there is fine. And then we'll put in the little walking path and get that building. Okay, so have you had enough of this video yet? We've lost about 1,000 people. Lost 1,000 people anyway. On the plus side, we didn't lose everyone. Yet. Wow. Okay, maybe we have lost everyone. Maybe it's just not enough. It's just not enough. Now there's not enough people to work here anyway, so that's just going to finish off the rest of the population. Yeah, that's GG on CERNACOVA. We're going to have to redo that. Wow. Okay, so when in doubt, always use the big heating plant. That's the moral of the story. Always use the big heating plant. Because the small one's never good enough. If you have to heat like a couple of buildings, then fine, the small one. But otherwise, start with the big one right away. Because you're going to lose 1,000 people if you don't. That's just how it's going to go. Yeah, so 1,400 deaths and counting. Still climbing because the freaking winter is going on for another month, man. So it's going to keep going. Just because this building finishes doesn't mean we're going to be able to work it either, because you have to get people there. So there's barely anybody going to the bus stop anymore. Hardly anybody works here. So yeah, it's kind of like it's a town wipe. Everybody in CERNACOVA just died. There's very few people here still. That sucks. I feel really bad about that. Yeah, moral of the story is you have to have the big one. It's just kind of wild to me that this big one, 210 gigajoules of heat, could help like all of these people. This whole big area is heated by this thing at 210. But the small one couldn't handle this. Now there's no prisoners here either because they all died from the cold. So everybody's dead. CERNACOVA. Rip CERNACOVA already. We will start up again in the next video. We will repopulate CERNACOVA with more test subjects. Oh my god. That feels bad. Come on back for the next one where I hopefully won't kill another 1,000 people. See you next time. Bye-bye.